Hello YouTube, Dave here again. For those who haven't seen my recent community post over the last few days, unfortunately, all of us here have ended up getting sick. It's not like the worst case scenario thing, but it still kind of sucks. And I'm way better than I was like Friday. I'm recording this Monday night or technically Tuesday morning. Like Friday, I was in really rough shape. I've been pretty much starting to feel better and, better each day since then, but it is still difficult to talk for an extended period of time. So I just haven't been able to do videos. I wanted to put something out though, because it's been a few days and I do have some things that I've added to my collection that I just want to show really, really quickly here. These are all D&D related stuff. The first three things are items that I purchased myself, and the last two, which are technically the same item, was sent to me for an upcoming review video, which I will be doing hopefully in a couple of days' time once it's easier to talk. So the first three things here, they're all related, and I'm just going to go through these kind of quickly. But these are print-on-demand adventures from DM's Guild or Drive-Thru RPG. I definitely recommend checking out those pages. I love a lot of their print-on-demand stuff. There's a ton of things that I really want to pick up. I just, have to, pace myself. But these three things are all related to each other, and they're all things that were kind of like on my wish list of things that I wanted to own. So the first one here is the adventure Vecna Lives for 2nd edition AD&D. These are going to be all 2nd edition things here, these first three things, and they're connected, and I'll give you two guesses as to how. So Vecna Lives. Vecna is one of my favorite villains in D&D, period. Like Vecna, Bane, and Warduke, and like Vlaakith are my top four. And after that, it gets a little bit harder to figure out which one's my absolute favorite. Probably Caius. But yeah, so this was an adventure that I've always wanted to get. I've never seen in public, like in the wild, ever in my location, in my area. So I was really happy to get that. The next one is Vecna Reborn, and this is the Ravenloft campaign setting. This was when Vecna was temporarily trapped in one of the demi-planes of Ravenloft. And this was one that I had a chance to buy years and years ago. And I think it was even still sealed. But I just wasn't as into collecting at that point in time. And I don't think I had the money when I saw it at my local game store. So when I finally decided I was going to pick it up and I went in to do so, it was gone. It was out of the store already, which kind of sucked, but I finally do have it now. And again, it's print on demand, but I think all these print on demands are pretty high quality. I've never had any issue with the clarity of the letters or of the text or anything in any of the products that I've gotten through DM's Guild. And all the stuff that I've gotten from them basically has all been print on demand, and it's all been really, really, really good quality stuff. So again, another adventure. This is actually the lowest level one. I think it's like level 5 through 7. So I do want to run 2nd edition AD&D one of these days, and this is one that I really want to actually get a chance to run. And then the third one here, very, very late release for 2nd edition AD&D. This is Die Vecna Die by Bruce R. Cordell and Steve Miller. Bruce Cordell is, I really like his work. I believe he's the same author that did the Sunless Citadel for 3rd edition, which I've run a couple of times for 5e because it was included in the Tales from the Yawning Portal. So I really like his stuff. I think he's a decent writer. And this came out in the year 2000, which was the same year that 3rd edition released. So, like I said, it was very, very late release product for 2nd edition AD&D. It's a nice, massive book as well. It's over 150 pages long. And yeah, I definitely want to get an opportunity to run this at some point. All right, so up next, these were two things sent to me by Wizards of the Coast to do an upcoming review video, which will be one of the first things that I do once it's easier to do videos. So this is Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel. This is an anthology collection of short, self-contained adventures. It's basically like a collection of like almost like old school like modules. It's really, really cool. I love these anthology books because to me they're the best way to release adventures, since they're not doing like actual modules. This is the next best thing, where you get a collection of modules all bundled together. Like this, Candlekeep Mysteries, or yeah, I think it was Candlekeep Mysteries, the Candlekeep book anyway. I thought was really, really well done, and I really enjoyed that one because it was a series of short adventures. And I run games monthly, so they're perfect for me because I kind of want my adventures to be, I want something to occur every single month, and I want there to be a sense of like progression. And these shorter adventures are great for that. So this is a fantastic book. There's a lot of really cool adventure ideas in here. And each adventure has not only like the adventure itself, but there's a gazetteer section for the main location that the adventure sort of takes place in. Each adventure also has some information on placing it in the Forgotten Realms. It's like they usually give you suggestions for a couple of different campaign settings. I think Forgotten Realms is always one of them, but then they will have ideas for including the adventure location in other, like in another campaign setting. So one of them may have suggestions for putting it in Eberron or in Dragonlance. Kind of thing. So you get quite a bit of stuff here that you can sort of cherry pick from, even if you don't use the actual adventure itself. So I really recommend it for anyone that's into 5th edition right now. Like these anthology collections of short adventures are absolutely fantastic. So this is the standard version. There's even a little chart for the different adventures inside and a little brief description of what they are, which is great. Some really nice artwork, some really nice maps and design. There's just a lot of really cool stuff. So this is the base book, and this is the game store exclusive cover. I gotta be honest, it's very colorful, and it has a very unique and interesting art style. It kind of almost reminds me of like a stained glass window kind of concept, especially on the back, which, I think is kind of neat. There are these like gemstone creatures called incarnates, which are like repositories of different cultures' lores, the different cultures that created the Radiant Citadel back in the day. They have these, little, again, they're like these gemstone creatures called incarnates. Not like Incarnum incarnates from like the Magic Incarnum book, which I thought they were when I first saw the header. But it's still kind of an interesting idea, and they are referenced on the cover here, so you get like sort of the gemstone looking stuff. It's I mean the Game Store exclusive covers are always going to be hit or miss because they tend to be very stylized. Like I said, I think it's very like beautifully colored. It's not one that I would consider to be my personal favorites, but it is a nice cover, and again, a really great book that is worth picking up. And I will be doing my review as soon as I can. Anyway, those were the latest things that I've added to my D&D collection. Let me know in the comments below what are some of the cool things that you've picked up over the last couple of weeks. And if you picked up Radiant Citadel, have you had a chance to run into the adventures yet? And if so, how do they go for you? Anyway, thank you guys very much for your patience and understanding and your support. It really does mean a lot to me. And I will see you all as soon as possible. But until then, take care.